Hi, Mike Jacobi here, inviting you to join us again for Jazz Tonight as we kick off the 2015 season. This year, the Summer of Sinatra, dedicated to old Blue Eyes, celebrating his 100th birthday. Each week, we'll be bringing you a new artist that's appearing in town, look behind the scenes and find out what they've got going on in the recording studio and find out what else is going on live in their lives. Jazz Tonight, right here on KCAT.
Captain's Log, Day of Discovery. Today, our junior crew members declared their independence. While the young cadets explored uncharted territory, the Admiral and I discovered the Fountain of Youth. Later, we were treated to a royal banquet. And after a brief skirmish with pirates, we celebrated with cannon fire.
Disney Cruise Line. When it comes to pleasing everyone, the difference is Disney.
Hi, welcome to Jazz Tonight. I'm Michael Jacobi, executive producer of Jazz on the Plazz, a production of Los Gatos Music and Arts, and also host of Raising the Standards on KSCO Radio Santa Cruz. Delighted to have you with us as we enter week 3 of Jazz on the Plazz 2015. With me, an old buddy and someone who's been here a couple of times before, Claudia Villela. How are you, my friend?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. And you?
I'm well, and I've got to tell you, you're back for many reasons, not the least of which you are enchanting and wonderful. But each year, when someone does an exemplary performance and the crowd goes crazy, we bring you back. And that's what happened last year. And you were here with our friends Ken Peplowski and Bruce Foreman, and a little tribute to Getz and Charlie Bird.
Unbelievable, it's been a
And
real
you were
honor.
terrific.
Thank you, thank
You're
you.
kind of a hometown girl by way of Rio, but you live in Santa Cruz.
Right,
That's nice. That's nice. You just come over to the hill.
right. Rio, Santa Cruz, Los Gatos.
Well, let's talk a little. We were talking about the fact have you been home to Brazil lately?
Yeah, last month. I
Last
just
month.
came back a couple weeks ago.
Were you there for the World Cup?
No, thank God.
Yeah.
Too much.
You could buy a stadium for cheap now. You know. Actually, where is anybody going to be for the World Cup with whatever's going on with FIFA? Is that you wonder about Qatar and Russia?
Everything
but
is out.
We're not talking sports. But you do have a World Cup tie-in with Los Gatos.
Right, when Brazil got the championship back in 1994.
Yes.
I
As
was,
an
we
11-year-old. Yeah.
basically out of diapers.
Yeah. But did you sing the national anthem at Stanford?
Right, no, here,
Oh.
on the plaza.
Oh,
on the
that's
stage.
that's right. I remember that. Yes, and you could not, for the folks that have been in Los Gatos a long time, you remember this, but Brazil stayed in town.
Right, it was
And it was
crazy.
You know, as someone once said, when Americans drink, they get drunk and mean, and when Brazilians drink, they party.
Right.
Every server at Willow Street was proposed to that week. I'll marry you, come home with me. And the wonderful
Sounds
thing, you
familiar.
couldn't cross the street between Willow Street and C.B. Hannigan's.
Happy times.
It was a phenomenal
Happy
thing.
times.
So tell me a little bit about Claudia, about growing up. Tonight's show, as you know, the theme, you were here last year when our theme was Cole Porter. And tonight's, and this summer's theme is Sinatra, the Summer of Sinatra, celebrating his 100th birth anniversary. Frank has had an effect on so many different genres and taken from them and brought a lot of them into the light more than perhaps they would have been without his recording. I say that and I think of the wonderful CD he did with Joe Beam with Klaus Ogerman's arrangements.
Right.
And I'm not saying that the bossa nova sound wouldn't have made it without him, but it was very nice that he introduced that to a whole new audience.
Yeah, everything just unfolds from, exchanges and so far, so on. So it was a very happy one too.
Talk a little bit about growing up, and Joe Beam had to have been a monster.
Well, Jobim was this character that always been present in our culture as someone really, sensitive and really rooted, and at the same time shooting for a language that was understood by more people. And so I think that was the biggest impact of his, that he had that poetry that went beyond, just the Brazilianity or whatever,
Yeah.
I think. So jazz and Brazilian music became one thing that was stronger than separate.
And I think I told you the story before. I had a dear friend many years ago. I guess it was in the 50s, that went to see Black Orpheus without knowing anything about the music. And he said that he walked out transformed, because it was such a remarkable sound, particularly for North Americans, with Wild Gilberto and bringing all those people into play. But you grew up with that.
I did grow up with that, and I feel lucky because roots, they go deeper, just like myths, and I think that whole thing was very much more catapulted, is that a word in there?
Yeah, it is now.
To it was like a trampoline, like a shooting of you go deeper and then you go out with more strength. So the whole thing of the Orpheus and waking up the sun and playing music, it was a very happy
Now,
combination.
was that a two-way street where here we're discovering Carnival and the music and the beat and the rhythms? Were you in turn discovering the Beach Boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was all in a mix.
Yeah.
We had those smoothies, Beach
Yeah.
Boys and Sinatra
Yeah.
and samba and everything. That's how we grew up. We're mutts.
So tell me about your family growing up around the house. Was music part of the home?
Yeah, pretty much.
Your
My mom
folks
sang
play?
all the time. My father played the harmonica. I spent a lot of time at my grandmother's house, which was behind my building apartment.
You grew up in Rio?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And behind her apartment, there was a slum, and it was a school of samba, a samba school. And I went to sleep every night with it.
Oh, what a marvelous way to
So
drift off.
that was really unique, So it makes a difference, I think.
Now, at what point, you were exposed to music early, but did you have an epiphany that says, hey, I ought to do this? Or what were you studying originally? What were you thinking of doing?
I maybe my father had it when he gave me a pianola when I was 1 year old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
What a
so
perfect
it
gift
has
for a
been, it was a piano, like accordion, laying down, keys
Yeah.
in one side and buttons in the other. So for a 1-year-old kid, it was electric. So you press it, sound came out, and then you press the buttons, and it was accompaniment. So the ears were like connections right there.
Are you self-taught?
Pretty much. Of course, I studied later on a little bit more, but mutt.
Now, what did you wait? Did you wait till you were 3 before you started singing, or what?
Oh, it's a funny thing because it's just like time, and it was like forward, backward, forward. I was never like, the first thing I wanted to be when I grew up was to be an astronomer.
Okay.
So, and then I wanted to be a doctor, and then music was always there, but, because everything was so kind of a natural, organic for me, that I never, okay, I'm gonna study. And when I went to study it, I think I was 5, 6. I didn't have a piano at the house, and the teacher would ask me to do stuff, and I would do it my way. And guess what she did? She spanked me, and I said, see ya.
This can't be good.
No. So I took a long time to go back to
Now,
it.
is that, I don't play piano, nor have I taken lessons, but is that pretty much across the board that people start classical
Yeah.
when they're training?
Yeah.
And so you've got these little rhythms
Oh,
and stuff.
God.
Keys unbeknownst to her.
Oh, no, she wasn't happy about that, but
So you get to high school, you singing, are you doing gigs, or?
The high school, yeah, I started to do a lot of little different things and composing and participating in festivals. And
Did you do a rock and roll band?
I had a rock and roll, but there wasn't just rock and roll band, just like a couple of chords. It was more progressive. You know what I mean? We had other influences, and you know.
Who were your rock and roll influences?
Oh boy, Led Zeppelin,
Janis?
of course, Genesis and The Who and Rolling Stones, and you go.
What was the name of the group?
Oh, Pyramid.
Which means?
It was a thing with the pyramid,
Yeah.
so it was pyramid.
Pyramid.
I didn't name it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there were some funny songs. I'll someday I'll
I
go to
would
your
love to
radio
hear.
and
Come be on the
I'll
air with
play
me.
that.
We'll play the lost tapes.
Right. Nobody. You know, if you play that, so who is the singer? Nobody will know. I don't think so.
So at some point, at what point is, I guess, what I'm getting to, did you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to commit to this, I'm going to do this for a career? At what point did, today's the day.
I have
Since
to
I heard
renew
you,
the
this is
vows.
good.
No, it's just like a marriage already that was, I don't know. Go figure.
But would you consider yourself a jazz singer?
For some aspects, yes, because jazz being something that's very ebullient and flexible and always being, in the improvised side of things and open, you know what I mean, free. That's what I like.
You do in your music, for lack of a better description, you do a lot of scat types. Is it called scat in Portuguese? I don't know. I mean, what's the singing style?
I don't know. I think that's improvisation. I mix because I compose too, and it's finding a balance and the right songs and when you have so many variables, people who are playing that you wanna play stuff that sounds better with this people and so far so on, like the orchestra. You know what I mean?
Do you do words and music?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do words and music, and I improvise lyrics too. So, the other thing that I was going to say, for the medicine in music, I went to music therapy school.
No, not music theory. Music therapy.
Therapy.
Now, what is music
Forget
therapy?
theory.
I think of music as therapy. That's funny.
Traumatized,
What is music therapy?
Well, there was the conjunction of music and medicine. So I thought that would be a good path for me, and I applied it. It's just like you studying philosophy and then going later on
Sure.
to study business. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
yeah.
Everything is one whole thing. I'm doing medicine. Yeah, I'm a shaman. Yeah, maybe I was in the past or whatever. We all here to remind that eternity is now. And so I guess that's what it is.
It's you and I have talked for years about recording an album in English because you do so much. You do mostly
I
in
would
Portuguese,
love to.
right? And we need to get an old friend of mine who has passed on. I don't know if you knew Gene Lees, who it was the one who transliterated Corcovado and Wave from Portuguese to English. So it was a fascinating man. So, but if you hear, and as much as I love So Close Your Eyes, It's a Lovely Way to Be, here in Portuguese is just much more beautiful.
It has that thing.
Yeah, doesn't it?
I don't know what it is, but yeah, poetry is very sensitive, delicate to translate. So I guess coming from the dirt.
So are you planning an English album?
Not planning, and it's in my bucket
That's
wish.
on your bucket list?
Yeah.
Will you do a song for us? Come on.
Let's see.
I'll tell you what, we'll take a little break. We'll shut down for a second and we'll talk her into it. While we're about to make that move, I want to thank the good folks at Disney for underwriting this program for KSCO, for their kindness as well. And remind you that if you want to help keep jazz alive, buy a jazz card. Come to the gala, which is coming up soon on the 28th of July with the 4 freshmen. Or just make a donation at the park. We appreciate it. Just a second, we'll listen to Claudia.
Hi, Mike Jacobi here, inviting you to join us for a new show premiering in July right here on KCAT Television. It's called Jacobi's Talk of the Town, a conversation program where we'll be talking to folks from local government, from high tech, and even some jazz artists and all the stops in between. And we won't steer away from controversy, so join us for a couple of laughs and a few deep thoughts, only on KCAT and the Talk of the Town.
Well, good news. As much as I love just sitting on the couch and chatting, it's always fun to have a song and to give folks an idea of what they didn't see, perhaps if they missed the concert. What are you going to do for us?
Corcovado, I think is a good one. You like it? I like it.
And I love Joe B.
Right?
And who better than Claudia Villela? There you are, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Cantinho, violão, esse amor e uma canção pra fazer feliz a quem se ama. Muita calma pra pensar e ter tempo pra sonhar. Da janela eu vejo o Corcovado Redentor, que lindo. Quero a vida sempre assim, com você perto de mim, até o apagar da velha chama. E eu que era triste, descrente deste mundo, ao encontrar você eu conheci o que é felicidade, meu amor.
Oh, lovely. Quiet nights and quiet stars.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you.
beautiful. Tell me, we talked a little bit about you. We'll just keep standing. We don't need the couch back. But we talked a little bit about your bucket list. Let's talk about what you've got planned. And first, folks want to find out more. Can people buy CDs on your website?
Sure, they can buy my website, claudiavillela.com, spelled ClaudiaVillela, and also on CD Baby, and I brought CDs today, and I remastered Asa Verde, which was my first CD released here in the US, and I will have them over here. And well, I'm now, of course, working on a recording, and I would love to be able to release sooner than later.
Well, come on the show when you get it ready, and we'll launch the CD on the radio
Wonderful.
program. We'd love
Will
that.
do.
I must tell you that you were talking about remastering. Live albums are always a challenge, but the one you're able to put together at Combo is lovely.
Oh, that's right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Well, we'll do more.
Yeah.
We'll do more.
Yeah.
We'll do more. That's definitely, for me, you know, as much as I love the control of the studio and everything, the live thing, if it's well captured.
Yeah. Now, do you produce your own stuff?
Yes, I do.
So you choose
All of them.
You
Yeah.
choose the personnel. You choose the music.
Yeah.
You do a lot of your own music, or do you?
I do only my own music.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But I would love to do. I'm not
So you-
close to do anything else, other things. But it's just more complicated. You know what I mean? But you know.
But
what
I
mean?
mean, to do the music of Gilberto or something would be fun.
Yeah, definitely would be just fun. But if I don't do my music, who will?
Well, sure, absolutely. Well, whoever's next on the show, I'll suggest doing your music. So it'll
Right.
work out
Well,
the same.
sure, sure.
What do you got? You got gigs coming up in the near future here on the West Coast?
Yeah, we're gonna do San Francisco Jazz Festival on August 5th Coomba Jazz Center, September
Okay.
3rd.
All right.
Those are coming up.
Okay. You know, my friend Marshall Lamb keeps inviting me. I have not been up to San Francisco yet, and I understand it's a now, you're doing at the center or part of the festival?
Yeah, the center.
Yeah,
The center, yeah.
I know our friend, both our old friend Paula West is doing a tribute to Bob Dylan, which is fun
Nice.
up there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you'll be there in August as part of the festival?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and we'll look forward to seeing you in September.
Right, September Coomba, September 3rd.
All right.
Right, and
Claudia.
I'm looking forward to have everybody tonight at Los Gatos Plaza.
Well, by tonight, when folks see this, it will have been last week. But if you did not make the show, I got to tell you, you missed something wonderful.
Right.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank
Claudia
you very
Villela,
much.
It's so good to see you
Thank you
again.
very much.
That's Jazz Tonight. Again, let me just do a quick reminder that if there's any way that you can open your heart and reach in your pocket and help us keep jazz alive, we certainly appreciate it.
Oh, yes.
And next week, Mads Tolling and Claire D. We go back to the jazz violin as this young lady here continues to reach for the stars. You may not be an astronomer, but you are located high in the heavens for
Oh
me.
boy, you have it in your pocket.
How good is he? That's Jazz Tonight. I'm Jacobi. I'll
Thank
see you
you.
soon.